Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ronald and I write code. So in today's video we are going to check out Laravel Livewire version 3. It was released a few days ago, though it has been in beta for a couple of months now, but it was finally released. So we are going to see how we can install it in a new Laravel application. So to do that, let us open up our terminal, and then we shall copy a command that I will link to in the video description. This command scaffolds a new Laravel application. Right, so but first I'm going to set it to my desktop, and then I'll scaffold this Laravel application on my desktop. I'm going to call it Learning Livewire. Livewire 3. So as it's scaffolding, okay, now it's done. So I'm going to open that up in my VS Code in just a sec. Okay, yeah, and here we are. Yes, trust the authors. So this is our application. I'll go ahead and open up the terminal so that I can run it, and we see if it is running very well. PHP artisans have so that command basically runs our Laravel application on the localhost. So if I click to open, it has opened up in a new tab, and this is it. This is our brand new Laravel application. So it comes with this code that is in the welcome.blade.php. welcome.blade.php. Yeah, for example, if I say HTML, can just give it a H2 and say Learning Livewire 3. Save and reload. Yeah, you can see it has changed. So how do we install Laravel Livewire? We do that by running a command that we have pasted in this new terminal over here. It is composer require livewire /livewire. That's it. So we hit return. So it's downloading. Should be done within a few seconds. Yeah, it's taking a bit long. I think it's my internet or something. Let's just give it a little while. Please be patient. Yeah, patience is part of being a developer. You need patience. Alright, cool. So it has installed everything. So let us create a simple component that a counter component, whereby if you click a button, it increments a value by 1. If you click the plus button, it increments by 1. If not, if you click the decrement button, it decrements the value by 1. So, and how do we do that? We create a Livewire. We create a component by typing PHP artisan make, then Livewire, and then the name of our component. So it is going to create a folder in our app. It will be named Livewire, that will have the component counter and then in our resources, in a folder called Livewire, it will create a counter.blade.php. So let me hit enter and we see. Alright, cool. So we have this good styling. As you can see, app Livewire, counter.livewire. So if we come here to our Livewire, we have this counter, and then if you go to our resources, in our views, Livewire, we still have the counter. So if I can explain, this is a class counter that renders a view named counter in the Laravel folder. So remember, in Laravel, when you're rendering views, by default it starts from this views folder as a base, so you don't need to include it. Just anything, any subfolder or file, that's where you start from when you're naming it in this return command. So have livewire.counter. So this is the file that will display the content of the counter, and this is basically the counter component that is going to handle the functionality. So let me just let me put a simple hashtag. This is a counter component. Okay, so how do we then view this counter? To do that, we must create a route that links to the counter component. And where do we write our route from? This Laravel, and we all know it is in the web.php. So just down below here, I shall say route get counter, then we shall pass in a callback function. If you could type correctly, then in this callback function, actually we don't need to even pass this callback function. You can just reference the counter class itself. Counter class, that's all. So if here in our app, if we navigate to /counter, okay, my bad, I think I missed out something. Livewire page component layout not found. I think we are supposed to include something in our app. Okay. So we are missing an app.blade.php, and this is basically the file that bootstraps Livewire. So to do that, we have to run another command. Let's type that command. Just clear that. php artisan Livewire layout. Yeah, so this file app.blade.php was missing, and as you can see, it has been created. So if I want to navigate to this file straight from my terminal, straight from my VS Code, I click command, click and hold command, then I just click on this and I'll land into that file. So this slot basically says everything. This is where Livewire is going to be included, part of this Laravel application. This is its entrance, this slot. So if I reload, this should work. Yeah, as you can see, this is a counter component. Cool. So how do we then write our counter? We come to the counter file. So if you're used to other frameworks, for example React or Vue, you know that we normally include initial state, right? So here we do we do something similar. We come and we say public. So we shall name this count is equal to 1. So it means in our class component, anything that we deem as public will be able to be accessed through the counter file, and this counter file is the file that is rendered by this render function. So it means if we give this any other form, for example, if it is private, any other access modifier, if it is private or protected, to throw an error. If you try to access it from this file, to throw an error because it only accepts public variables. So let us then write two functions, and these functions either increment or decrement the count. So I'll call this increment count. So I would say public function increment, and then I will just say this count plus plus. So when this function is called, it will go to this counter, this referring to this current class, and then the count is this public variable named count, and then it will increment it by 1, this plus plus. So this is a shorthand. We can also say is equal to this dot count, this count plus 1. So but this is the wrong form. To simplify it, we just say plus plus. Cool. So let us do the same for the decrement. Shall say decrement count, then say public function decrement, say this count minus. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, our counter component is done. So all we have to do is now go to the view file and display the count. So down below I would say 3, the count is, and then I'll do also count. So if I refresh, you should see a count is 1. So maybe let me reduce that. Let me give this an H4 and an H1 instead, so that it's quite big on the screen. The count is H1. As you can see, we are referencing count that is automatically passed from this component. So if we set this as protected and try to reload, we should get an error and find variable count. Because it is protected, it is not being found in this blade file. Anything to be able to be displayed, it must be public. So let's put it back to public and reload. Should be good to go again. So what do we do then? Remember, we need to increment or decrement. So to do that, we shall create our two buttons and shall say click to increment. We shall copy this again and say to decrement, right? We can just add a plus here and the minus here. So if we refresh, these are our two buttons. Alright, so how do we call these functions from this blade file? And it is pretty simple. We just add the wire dot click wire.click, and to reference, this is an event that will be when we click, it will trigger this function increment, right? So we shall just do that, and then we shall, let me just copy this and replicate it over here to decrement. So that is pretty much it. So if I click on the click to increment plus, I'll have a 2. If I click again, I'll have a 3. I can go on and on. So if I click decrement, on every click, this value here will be decremented by 1. So if I click, it will go to 5, 4, 3, etc., etc. So that's it. That's a simple counter component and an introduction to Laravel Livewire. In subsequent videos, we'll be going into more details into components and how they work, into properties, actions, and so on and so forth. So thank you for watching this video. If you found it helpful, just give me a like, let me know that you like it, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.